I believe we are. Hey guys, this is episode 4 of Just Incredible's Hardcore House Show. Welcome. And as you can see, we're in a new location with a little bit better quality today. My good friend and producer, Dean, is here and helping us out. And he's going to be a regular part of the show from now on. So welcome aboard and thank you so much for all your help, dude. It's been great. And so here we are, and we're going to, after we stop going live, we are going to start tonight to put these up on YouTube, on brand new YouTube channel, Real Just Incredible. So we'll give you all the information on that to check that out. I'll be posting it on Facebook and Twitter as well. And, just really looking forward to it. Hope that you guys have all your great questions like you have been yesterday's. I really enjoyed it. I thought you guys had some amazing questions, and I lost myself kind of for a while. I was doing it out of my bedroom, and I really just, I forgot I was sitting here talking to a phone in front of my face. I was having that much fun, and, it was really interesting. So, so far we got 7 viewers. Not too bad. Not too bad at all to start the hour. So, drop in your questions as soon as you guys want. The more questions, the better. I like to do this, 100% interactive. You guys make the show, the fans, and hopefully you guys could touch on anything. Maybe Dean could touch on some stuff that'll
just let them know I need a minute.
Yeah, make the conversation more interesting. As he said, he's gonna need a minute, but just trying to think of what's been happening in the world of wrestling. I didn't catch the TNA show last night, unfortunately, but if anybody out there has any thoughts about the TNA show from last night, please feel free to throw them on over and let me know what you guys thought. I always find it interesting to to hear what the fans say about TNA, being that sometimes our opinions are very similar, sometimes they're not really so similar. I'm very critical of TNA, but who really isn't at this point? I don't know if you're on yet, Dean, but I don't know if I can get any questions over here. Do they just pop up like?
They should.
They should.
I'm waiting for something to load here.
I don't see anything yet, guys. If you could do me a favor, if you're out there and you're hearing me. If you could throw some questions at me, just so I could, we're using a whole new system today, so I can, need all the help we can get here. Just let me know if you guys have any questions to start off this show, please. We got one message, it looks like right here. I'm not sure if this is it or not, but I'm going to mess with it. No, wrong thing. So, okay. Just leave that alone. Yes. So, anyways, I'm gonna go on chat, see if that does anything up. I'm not screwing anything up. I've got nothing so far. So, anyways, guys.
I'm going off your link on the website, and I'm ending up with.
Just bear with us, really quickly. We're getting there. Anyways, you guys like my kick-ass scarf in the middle of summer? My wife always makes fun of me, but this is definitely my Pimpin' rock star look, so chicks dig it. I dig it. The guys dig it, too. Just don't tell anybody. Yeah, I'm just very curious as to if there's been any messages, because by this point, the other system, I have a ton already, so I'm not sure if you could maybe come over here and see if you can just get me something rolling over here with some questions.
Yeah, it's my pad. You definitely want to stay on page.
And we have nothing yet, right? Or they're loading now. Oh, okay. And I could assume. Oh God!
Bang!
We're all over the place, guys. Sorry. I'm retarded, obviously. Can't blame me. Booyah! Mass transit incident. Oh God! Mass transit incident. There we go. Now I'm alive and well. I wasn't a part of it. I didn't see it. Didn't care to see it. Thought it was, really bad of Jack to do something like that. I mean, we were all a little nuts back then, and we took what we did very seriously, if you couldn't tell. And I don't know. I just think that was a little nuts and should have never happened. And the guy almost died. So crazy. Don't like that. Uh, let's see. Who is your least favorite guy to work with? Least favorite guy to work with. There's so many of them. They really were, man.
Right now it's me.
Oh no, God no. Let me get you a good one here. Mantar. Again, I bring up Mantar because it was such a I guess in the developmental stages of my career, it was so difficult to get in there with a guy, especially when you're a young kid wrestling a 400-pound guy. And back then, Vince's rings were wicked stiff. Now they're made for smaller, lighter wrestlers, but back then, man, they were just brutal. And you're in ice skating arenas. In the middle of winter in Ontario, Canada, in Cornwall, Ontario, in front of nobody, getting just jacked up by this fat piece of shit. Oh, brutal. Horrible guy to work with. How do you work a match with someone who doesn't speak your language? Uh, Really the same. You would work a match with a guy that does speak your language. If you guys have heard the way I like to kind of go about things, I like to improv a lot. I don't like to call a whole lot. And wrestling is universal. Clothesline means clothesline. Slam means slam. Vertical suplex means suplex. Lariat, all kinds of different terminologies. But really, you'd be amazed how wrestling itself, it has a universal language. Um, let's see. Who came up with the Aldo gimmick and how did they present it? They came up with the Aldo gimmick um, because they were WWE was trying to hit South America, and Brazil is the biggest country in South America, and they are, 75% Brazil is of South America. So in Brazil they speak Portuguese. I happen to be Portuguese and speak Portuguese, so I was in the right place at the right time and spoke the right language. And one day, Vince McMahon, I was working at the studio with Undertaker and Brian Lee when they were doing the fake Undertaker gimmick. And Mark and I and Brian, we worked on Brian's character, and they had a dress rehearsal on Friday, the last day of rehearsals. And Vince and Pat Patterson came down, and after Brian and Taker had worked their match, or Brian worked his match with me, it was a squash match, and Taker was watching himself. Pat and Vince came up to me, and Pat started asking me all kinds of questions like, "Who trained you?" And I said, "The Hearts." And Vince was like, "How old are you, kid?" And I'm 19, and Pat out of nowhere goes, "What language do you speak?" I said, "Portuguese." He goes, "Ha, you're kidding me, Vince, ha ha, that's great, pal." Gives you one of those. And I thought they were making fun of me at first. But lo and behold, the whole time they were looking for a young Portuguese-speaking kid to go into South America and into Brazil and to do that gimmick. And right place, right time, and it all started from there. How was it at TNA Hardcore Justice? Um, it was really fun to see all the guys again. Um, the talent itself that was there, like a lot of ECW greats were there, but a lot of guys they used were, so they used a lot of mid-level guys who just kind of passed by ECW. They didn't really go to, for whatever contractual reasons or others, they didn't go to a lot of the classic guys. Shane Douglas obviously missing, and to name others, but and it was just amazing to see how many of the guys were so fat and out of shape, and really what 10 years of from when we last originally aired an ECW match till at that point, how some of the guys had let themselves go, but at the same, in retrospect, as many, how many guys were still in that tremendous shape, so it was fun. It was surprisingly entertaining. The match quality wasn't bad, wasn't great. It wasn't ECW up to ECW standards, but it certainly surprised me, in some positive ways and in some negatives. So let's see. You got something?
Yeah, hey, Julian wants to know.
Yeah, yeah.
This is Julian.
Yeah,
he's
Julian.
up all over everything.
Yeah, he's a big friend of the show, man.
Yep. He wants to know. How was Sandman after the show? Yeah.
Hardcore Justice.
Yeah.
He was fine from what I recall. I did something happen, or did
No, Julian, get back to me on that. I mean, what are you talking about as far as how
Yeah,
was Sandman?
yeah, because I didn't think there was not necessarily anything bad that happened that I was aware of, or something where he got hurt.
We got
He worked with me actually. He just
Nimbo
came.
Slice. Whatever happened to Axel? Is he
Axel,
working?
yeah, Axel's working. Axel lives in Baltimore, and I just did a couple indie dates with him in the summertime, and he looks pretty good. He looks good, and he's still out there doing his thing. Axel, good friend of mine.
Got another guy
Yeah.
here. This is Julian again. Julian's coming up with a lot of questions. He says,
Awesome.
"Do you remember the Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon match from the King of the Ring in 2001?"
I do, and Kurt beat the shit out of him. I remember Shane coming backstage, and he was gone. He was standing there, but he was completely knocked out, like standing not, like gone. He got messed up bad.
How did Scotty feel about that?
Scotty.
Wait a minute. He was there at that point, right?
Yeah, I think he was. Oh, I don't
Producing.
know. I don't know. Producing?
Wasn't he?
I don't. Raven?
Yeah, at one point.
Oh, I didn't know about that. But no, it was crazy what they did. It was spectacular and shocking to say the least. I give Shane a lot of respect. Say what you will about Shane. He is very passionate about this business as much as anybody, and he always put his ass on the line. Let me tell you, he really worked hard.
Yeah, Jordan's got a great question.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's actually perfectly time relevant for what's going
Sure,
on right now.
sure.
He wants to know. He says this may be a sensitive question to you, Pete, but are you still making a living as a professional wrestler?
I wouldn't say a living. It's I'm not making enough to survive solely on pro wrestling. No. I'm sorry.
Tell me about the comeback.
Well, I don't want to get all stupid and start talking all this bull, but I'm legitimately right now reason for the internet show, reason for the activity on Facebook and Twitter. And all the other things in the YouTube channel is, I'm 37 years old, not getting any younger, and I feel with my career I've done too much. I've had way too much success to completely just fade away into nothing. I've been in the business for 17 years. I'm very blessed to have never had to have had a surgery or a broken bone or serious injuries that have knocked many people out too early, like Edge and others. So I feel that this is, very much a beginning for me to start over and to prove myself again, A, to myself, and B, to the wrestling community in general. So, I'm very, very excited that this is, I'm in for, the long journey began this week, kind of, So, yeah.
Did you think the Aldo Montoya gimmick was going to go too far? And were you just kind of riding the wave at the time, or?
I was riding the wave at the time, big time. Only because, what do you say at 19 years old? You have a full-time job with World Wrestling Federation. I mean, very few people have that, if they ever get it at all. So, I didn't mind it. The character really looked silly, but in essence, the character wasn't a silly guy that did silly, noises or gimmickry. It was just a silly mask. If they would have simply put a better mask product together, I would have just been the luchador style guy. So really, it was just the unfortunate, thing with the mask. But I don't regret it. I learned so much and I became friends with some of the best wrestlers in the world. Shawn Michaels and I have a relationship to this day because of that run. I got to meet Hunter Hearst Helmsley, for the first time in 1996, and we became friends. Hall, who I'm still friends with, and X-Pac, who later in my career I had a successful tag team with. So, it was a great jumping off point, and I'm very, very happy that it kind of happened that way.